Bernie Sanders is killing it with college kids. A new poll shows that among the younger generation, the snowy-haired socialist is tied with Hillary Clinton in favorability, and he's considered more honest and trustworthy. But why do these young youths love this burn dog so much? One supporter says he's not making compromises in his vision, which it seems like candidates like Hillary are doing. That could be it. Or maybe because he throws the most bitchin' keggers on campus. But I have a different theory. Bernie Sanders is Santa Claus. Many people know what I found out the hard way. When you go to college, Santa Claus stops visiting. But you still need to believe in something. That's why you fill the Santa-shaped hole in your heart with a different old white man who promises to give everyone free stuff. Sure, when you graduate, you realize that someone has to pay for all that stuff, and that the rich kids really do deserve more because they work hard, and putting your trust in an eccentric old man from up north was a foolish childhood dream. But wasn't it a nice dream while it lasted?
Wow, Tom.
He is
that was deep.
I was leaving your room too.
I love that you look directly at me first. You're like, talking about a socialist, I'll look at her.
I did. Jessica, look, you're probably on the Bernie bandwagon.
I am not.
Oh, really?
I mean, I appreciate those who feel the burn.
Okay,
but I am all in for my gal Hillary.
So you're not on the Bernie bandwagon, but are you playing lead in the band that is going to go down with the ship that is going to hit the Hillary iceberg?
I don't really understand what you just said.
I was trying to tie that in with...
I totally followed that. You did? You know, we're like...
So did I, but I'm really high.
Yeah.
On the same page.
Jedediah,
yeah.
I don't think you were capable of speaking after my monologue because it made so much sense.
It resonated with me like Bernie Sanders resonates with those college students, Tom. Look, I kind of like Bernie Sanders. I don't agree with anything he has to say, but this is a real guy. This is a guy who actually believes what he tells you. This is a guy who, yes, probably would give everyone a unicorn and a little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow if he could, and he probably will manage to do that with our tax dollars, by the way.
Precisely. He's the reverse Santa Claus. He will come into your house if you're a rich person and take things from you to redistribute them to all the poor people out there.
Wait a minute. Like the Grinch. Isn't he more like he's a Christmas Grinch, isn't he?
He is. He's a socialist, left-wing, Marxist, pinko Grinch.
But he's quirky and lovable.
And he's charming.
He is very charming.
I was thinking about this. So I thought the University of Chicago was to be my college destiny. I didn't end up applying early, but I remember visiting and thinking, this is the place for me. And the fact that Bernie Sanders went there just makes me kind of like him more. You know, that he has this kind of this intellectual thing, married with a liberal thing, and then also the quirk. All University of Chicago people have this funky quirk to them, and it makes complete sense.
But what I found out about the reception he got at the University of Chicago, that is one of the last bastions of right-wing conservativeness in academia. That's where Milton Friedman, who was the famous conservative economist, was. That's where Alan Bloom, who wrote the great The Closing of the American Mind, taught. The University of Chicago is supposed to be a right-wing place, and these kids, these ignorant, left-leaning idiots, are cheering Bernie Sanders.
Maybe they like him because it's ironic to like him.
Well, both those people you mentioned, I think they were liberal in college, and then they became conservative later when they saw the light.
Famous neocons.
Yes.
They were.
When they
In fact, I was quite liberal in college until I read Free to Choose by Milton Friedman and his wife. God bless her.
One of the great books of all time.
You
really
read
was.
in college?
Yeah. It was a book, a powerful book that could change minds, right? Tom,
unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, what think you of this?
First of all, I'm an elf, so I took offense to your Santa Claus.
You are like Herbie, who didn't like to make toys, aren't you?
Look at this.
He lives in a tree and gives out cookies.
I do. I make cookies in a hollow tree.
Usually the seats on set can go up and down.
Yeah, but they're not jacking me up today. That's all right. He's attracting the younger people. I think it's great. I think people over 40 think that Bernie Sanders is a running back that used to play in the NFL. So I think we're all confused. But the young people dig him. God bless them.
Why is it that young people love that? It's a certain type of guy. Noam Chomsky. Yeah. You know, it's that kind of long-haired, old, cantankerous liberal that they love, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of the college professor kind of thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's super sexy.
They're all wearing their Che Guevara T-shirts, I'm sure, at all those rallies.
He's very idealistic. He's talking about this utopia in which everybody can have whatever they want, and he wants to raise the minimum wage, $15 an hour. And he wants to do all of these things that sound really great. The problem is that when you're in college, you don't think about, wait a minute, who's going to pay for that?
Right.
You don't think about those things. You just think about, oh, well, we're all going to have this great stuff.
College jet, I mean, it's out of control. We're talking about $1.6 trillion. So some people are thinking about it, but your utopia point is like absolutely perfect. You're living in utopia yourself.
Yeah.
Like, there's always a cafeteria open. There's always a party to go
Right.
to.
That's
There's
right.
always some girl who will sleep with you no matter how unattractive she is.
Wait a minute, really?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No one told me that in college.
Experience. I gotta say, where were you
I
trying to
went to
Columbia when I
women's
needed you?
college, so maybe that's why.
Oh, that's
You know, but
great.
all the kids want, you know what they want? They want to have all their student loans forgiven. They want to go to
Yes.
college for
Yes.
4 years and not have
Yes.
to pay for anything.
Well, no wonder
yeah,
if you did think about paying back money while you were in college, you'd never sleep at night, would you? If you
That's
saw
true.
this enormous debt over your head. So it does help.
True. But
live.
and who do they learn from, though? You make the best point, perhaps, about, of course, Tom, but because, you know, professors, they sit and listen to professors all day long. A lot of these young girls have crushes on the professors. I was one of them. I can tell you from firsthand experience. They see Bernie Sanders. He looks like a college professor. He talks like a college professor. It's not practical.
And they're gonna
None
have a
of his
crush on
policies
him?
work in the real world, but they're intrigued by him, and it's familiar. And that's what education looks like to them, because that's what professors look like every day.
Yes, unfortunately, if you heard his album, he also sings like a college professor.